talk a little bit about the Gardner-Webb game. I could not have been prouder of our guys, and I don't think we played sharp, but let me explain why. Remember when we played against Charleston Southern, one of the issues the defense had was we couldn't get off the field on third down. One of the issues the offense had, while they were able to move the ball and get some points on the board, there were 5 series in a row where we didn't do a very good job of managing the clock at all, and that certainly gave Charleston an opportunity to be more effective than what they would have been. So with the Gardner-Webb game, I think Dave Patnord, in his calling the game, did a better job of literally managing the clock and managing the game. And instead of then the defense having 90 plays they had to worry about, they had like 65 plays they had to worry about. So the offense did a good job in terms of controlling the game from that perspective. Clearly, when you have the turnovers we had, you don't ever want turnovers. You're not going to win if you're going to have turnovers. But the defense played really, really well. I was proud of their efforts. I was proud of the way we gang tackled. Very, very seldom did you see just one guy by himself trying to make a play. You often saw a lot of people at the ball. That's what you've got to be able to see. And I think once again, the special teams have really done their job. They have done their job for the last couple of years. They're doing their job this year. When you look at one of these days, maybe we'll hand out the data behind the yardage that's actually we benefit from by having a really, really competitive special teams game. I think you probably find that interesting. The bottom line, I was proud of the effort. Now we got to get ready for Central Connecticut.
Looks good and ready after being off for so long. We knew that was a big point.
I don't think we were particularly sharp, but the reality behind that is, we didn't practice for 10 days, but there was really pretty good reasons for that. And at the end of the day, we can't worry a whole lot about things we have zero control over. So with regards to making sure our guys were safe and their families were safe and our student body was safe, I thought all the decisions that were made there were great. That was the number one priority. And I think we did a pretty good job of getting our guys organized and focusing a game plan that our guys could understand and we could get done within the span of 3 days. I think we did that. I think we were a little rusty. I don't think we were particularly sharp in the game, but within 3 days, I was pleased with the effort that we were able to put forth. Central Connecticut State, from an offensive point of view, I've looked at a couple games of each of the phases of their games, and when you look at the offense, they struggle a little bit moving the ball on the ground. They really do an excellent job throwing the ball. They have a very real passing game. When they have a minimum offensive running game, and to be ranked 35th in the country with a passing game, that says a lot. Most of the time, good passing games have to be complemented with a good running game. They haven't had that, but they've done a great job with being able to throw the ball. They do a good job giving their quarterback protection. The quarterback's one of the best athletes, if not the best athlete on the field. The receivers run very disciplined routes. They have really sound concepts. We've got to make sure we are on top of our stuff to be able to play that. We got to mix up what we're going to show them. We got to bring some pressure. We got to bluff some pressure. We got to show them some zone. We got to show them some man. We got to be able to mix it up, and that's a critical part of our game plan going forward. We also can't ever forget the run. Sometimes when you worry about a passing team, you kind of ignore the run, and then all of a sudden they have a big day against you on the ground. We can't let that happen. So we got to stop the run first, but we have to have some sophistication around our game plan with regards to their offensive ability to pass. From a defensive perspective, they've got good size. They've got 2 good size tackles inside, guys that are athletic at end, defensive end, but not very, very big, and 3 big guys like 6'2", 225-ish, at linebackers. I think they do a good job moving to the ball. I think they're pretty physical. They're not afraid to play man in the secondary, so the corners will match up one-on-one. They'll have a free safety. He'll do different things maybe with the other safety. They'll try to surprise it a little bit. They will bring some pressure. They'll disguise pressure. They want to move around a lot. So they'll line up in a 3-man front. They'll move to a 4-man front. They'll line up in a 4-man front. They'll move to a 3. They'll line up with a 3 and then bring the linebackers up at different times. Fake doing that. So they try to create a little tension on the part of the offense just by trying to change things a little bit, literally at the snap, which frankly I think is smart from a defensive perspective. From a special teams perspective, they use 2 guys as their punters. One, the bigger guy, tends to punt a little bit more traditionally. He's pretty good. Their kicker then comes in, he's a smaller guy. The kicker then comes in And most of the time when he comes in, they'll roll punt with him. So we actually have a game plan for each of those guys. It can't be too sophisticated because we won't be able to execute. But we're thinking about how we want to play each of those punters differently. I think that part of it's smart. They do a good job with the returns. They do a good job with their coverage. Again, the kids are good kids. They work hard. They hustle. You certainly see that from them on Saturday afternoon. And as always in special teams, we got to continue to win the special teams battle. And we got to come up with a big play that we haven't for a little while. We got to make sure certainly that they don't get a big play in special teams. But that's the way we look at them. It's homecoming. We know that. We're excited about being able to play at homecoming. We're excited about the next game. And we'll be ready to go come Saturday.
Saw Max's article on Hop. Anything more? Anything new?
I didn't see Max's article on Hop.
He
But
says
in
he
terms,
may
this is
not
what we
play.
talked about yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't expect him to play this week. So, but
I mean, there's no prayer of him playing.
I'm not going to want him to play this week, and I probably won't let him play this week. But here's why. Too often, I think when guys, remember earlier in the season, we had like Shane out, we had CJ out. We've had guys injured that probably could have gone. And maybe it was a playoff game, last game of the season, maybe that would have made sense. But too often, coaches send players back in because you kind of need the player, but he's not at 100%. He's not really ready to go. So number one, he's not as good as you wanted him to be. And number two, because he's sort of 70%, oftentimes he gets injured again. Now you're missing for 4 or 5 games. So if Hop was clear to go, I have no doubt he would want to go and be ready to go. But I would not jeopardize Hop's health to get him in that game. And this will be something we'll be looking at on a weekly basis.
Not that you care about it, but does this affect his record at all?
We're checking on that.
Okay.
Now, I do care about it. Now remember, all along, we've talked about this. How often do you have one of your players sets the Division I scoring record for consecutive games? I mean, I think that's incredible. And we certainly want him to continue to do that. But that record, he's already got the record. He has the record. So it's his record, so every week he breaks his own record. But every now and again, either the defense is stopping you, or you're not having a particular day, or God forbid, once in a while you get injured.
Well, yeah,
That's what
it took
happened
him
to
in the
Hop.
fourth quarter last week to score.
That's what happened to Hop. Okay, so along those lines, his health and well-being to us is what our priority is. We got to be able to play the game without him. We often talk to our guys, this is an opportunity to be able to step up, and that's what we got to be able to do.
Yeah, what about the, the depth on what you guys got at running back, say he doesn't play this Saturday?
Well, Osha's also out, so our first 2 running backs are out. So
Yeah.
therefore, we've got, with the guys that we've got left in the backfield, we give them work every day. And when they weren't getting work in terms of just like from an individual perspective, oftentimes they were over on the scout team. When you're on the scout team, you get a chance to get a lot of plays against our best defense. That actually keeps you relatively sharp. So what we're doing is we're simplifying the game plan a little bit so our guys know and understand exactly what they've got to do. So you've got Kenny there, and he'll start at running back, and then we'll have Raekwon Bennett behind him, redshirt freshman. Both of them played quite a bit in the game the other day, and both of them held their own. If something happens to those guys, then we got to be prepared with a simple enough package where we wind up doing some magic tricks, but we're still in the process of trying to figure that out.
With the top 2 guys out like that, do you feel like it's an opportunity to sort of build some experience and depth for guys who are going to play a big role in the future?
But I'm not thinking about it that way. Right now, when you have guys out, the number one priority is, okay, what can we do to maximize our potential so we can win this game? Now, anytime you give your guys playing time, if the game's out of control one way or the other, you get a chance to get playing time, you're doing that for the future. So when you get playing time, that's experience for the future, and that's a plus, but that's not why we're doing it, and that's not what's in our head. We got to win this game. We got to play well. We got to do a good job on offense. That's what we're thinking about.
When do we make Tyler Chadwick the running back then too?
Ooh,
Well, how
I
fast
like
is
that.
Tyler? How fast is Tyler?
I like that.
How fast is Tyler? Tyler's doing a good job for us. He's throwing the ball well. Throwing the ball well.
Talk about playing a team from your home state. What's that like?
It's kind of cool, we haven't played a team that I got some teammates, from high school that I know. So it's, it's always cool when you get to play those games. It's kind of like high school all over again. So, it kind of does add a little extra excitement for me. We've been talking on social media and things like that, and it's been cool. So I like it so far.
A little smack talk on there, things like that.
Just a little something.
Well, I actually I know the coach personally. He recruited me a little bit coming out of high school, so that only makes the game so much more competitive for me.
About you guys have been playing for a little bit. How important is homecoming for you guys as football players once you get out there?
I mean, every game is important to us, really. So,
Well, how special is this?
I guess it has some significance because I guess we bring out the whole school. We hope to get a lot of help from the people around us. You know.
Yeah. It's always good when the student body gets together and gets excited about football. So adds a little extra excitement for us as football players in the field when we see everybody out there, you know, supporting us. So it should be an exciting weekend.
Support means a lot.
You look at this team, this is a 1-5 team.
Well, see, with the game we had last week, we can't really look at records or, you know, we're going every week thinking that we are better than the team that we're playing against, but we never play down to their level. Every team is coming in to beat us. You know, we have a target on our back. We are coastal. We have a winning tradition here, and we don't plan to lose that. So we play the game of football to win. So we don't treat any opponent any differently, whether they're, you know, not as good as somebody else. We don't care. We come out there and play. The game plan does not change for anybody.
Same thing.
Well, I mean, could you repeat the question, please?
Well, here's a team that's really struggling. I mean, they're really down on their luck, and halfway through, a little more, about right halfway through the season, you guys are back on track. You know, you guys are kind of rolling, and then they're coming into your place. Looks like a pretty lopsided matchup on paper.
Well, when you underestimate a team, you kind of give them leeway to, I guess, have the opportunity to maybe upset you. So we kind of go into every game with the same mindset, hoping to dominate the team, like Voghens said, sticking to the game plan, and just executing on all cylinders.
Y'all are coming off a good performance on defense. How do you feel about the way the defense is playing right now?
I feel really good. I'm hoping to come out and from the linemen to the linebackers to the secondary, just fire out on all cylinders and do our jobs.
Is there a little extra confidence, a little extra energy coming off a big performance like that?
I mean, we kind of try to come out with the same energy every game, pumped, ready to go. So.
Coach Moglia said the offense, I mean, obviously struggling a little bit last week. Took you into the fourth quarter to score a touchdown. A good Gardner-Webb team, but what's missing right now?
I don't think there's a lot missing. As you can see, we drove the ball a lot in that game. We just didn't have opportunities in the red zone, and we did have some turnovers. So we just got to limit those turnovers and, you know, stick to the game plan. You know, let's not panic and change everything that we do. You know, I trust those guys that I play next to, and I believe we will pick it up. It's just that we did come off a 10-day break. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but, you know, the game kind of felt lackadaisical out there, you know. So hopefully we, you know, capitalize. We don't make as much mistakes as we did last game with the fumble and interceptions like that. And the O-line got to continue to block. So we're looking forward to play this weekend.
What's your estimation of Tyler Keene's performance year to date? And is you guys really behind him? And, you know, missing your backs now, it may force you guys to throw it just a little bit more this week.
Yeah, it's good that you asked this question about Keene, man. I believe in Keene. He's a smart guy. He's out there controlling the offense. I didn't lose no confidence at all in Jack State when Keene got in there because in the spring, if you don't remember, all the other quarterbacks were hurt, and it was really only Keene running the offense. He knows everything. He checks. He makes the right checks, puts the right positions. You know, Keene's been playing well. I think he's going to continue to develop as a quarterback for the season, and I think he'll prove it out here this Saturday and this weekend.
Does it affect you guys on the line when you've got some injuries in the backfield, knowing that do you feel like you need to step up and play any different, any harder, anything like that without your normal guys in the backfield?
Well, you know, Hop always makes a little extra cut and make us look good, but the game every weekend, you know, we plan on blocking our guys and not changing anything no matter who's back there. But we do have some younger guys back there. We do have to give them extra hole, open it up a little bit more. You know, that's always the plan every week. We got to try our best to give our running backs many running lanes. So, same thing this week.